Another was certainly the change of the centuries, going from the 1800s to the 1900s, as we went from an agricultural community to a largely industrial age. And there have been other times. I think now is one of those times, in part because of what is being forced upon us from dimensions all around us. Someone said this is almost the perfect storm. And I think that's true. We face competitive challenges from Asia. We're facing 1 billion new people coming into the workforce. 1 billion new people. China, India, aggressive, dynamic people, innovative people. We're going to have to raise the bar to stay ahead. Then we face a jihad, a global movement, even within our country, to cause the collapse of all civilization. That's a threat unlike anything we've known before, and now seeking nuclear weapons. And then we face our own domestic problems. We're spending way too much money, and our entitlements will make that worse before it gets better. We're using way too much foreign oil. We could be energy independent. We have not taken the action to actually get us there. We've got problems in healthcare and education, immigration. We've got a lot of areas of problems. And I believe if there's ever been a time we need to see action and change, it is now. And America is going to see a change. And I'm convinced that if Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton or John Edwards were elected president, we would take a sharp turn to the left as a nation, headed down the same path Europe chose a few decades ago. Of big government, big taxes, big brother directing the economy. You heard what Hillary Clinton had to say the other day about the economy. She said, we've always been an on-your-own society. And that's true. Adam Smith, on your own, personal responsibility, personal incentives. She said it's time to change, to become a shared responsibility. We're all in it together society. So it's out with Adam Smith and in with Karl Marx. Not exactly, but I'm convinced that her platform wouldn't get her elected president of France, let alone president of the United States. And that it is instead critical for us to understand that one of the reasons we are such a vital and dynamic society is that we do rely on individual responsibility and personal initiatives. And that frankly, the fact that Bill Gates being rich does not make us poorer. And that as people are successful, that does not make us all poorer. It makes us more affluent and having greater opportunities. So there's a very different view among those who, if you will, subscribe to the perspectives that were laid out during the days of the Declaration of Independence, like myself, and those that think instead in the way that the Europeans have. By the way, there's been a test to see which idea works. The test was the performance over the last 30, 40 years. Since the 1970s, America has created 50 million new jobs, and Europe has created 3 million new jobs. It's pretty clear which system has worked. We've outperformed Europe in a dramatic way. Going their path is not the right way. There are other dramatic places of difference, of course. Something like healthcare. The Democrats look at our problems there, and they say you're going to have government take over healthcare. Well, the last thing I want is the guys who ran the Katrina cleanup running our healthcare system. And I love the P.T. O'Rourke line. He said, if you think healthcare is expensive now, just wait till it's free. The right answer in healthcare is to apply the dynamics that work in the private sector in healthcare. And that's something we try to do in Massachusetts. It may not be perfect, but I'll tell you, if I'm elected to an office in this country, I'm not going to sit back and do nothing and talk about problems being insoluble. We're going to take action and try and make things better. And obviously there are other great concerns. Immigration is one of them. We value legal immigration, not illegal immigration. I'm convinced that sanctuary cities and amnesty only would tend to draw more people into our country illegally. And of course, perhaps the greatest threat we face is from radical, violent jihad. And that's a place where also we have a great difference. I think there's no question. You listen to someone like John Edwards who says there's no global war on terror. Think about that. I mean, we're facing a global war being waged by the terrorists from Malaysia to Indonesia to Pakistan, Egypt, and just the other day in India, Nigeria, Tanzania, Kenya, Spain, England. There's a global war being waged by terrorists. And we must wage a war against them and be successful. Yes, in a different way, but not in the way the Democrats have proposed, which is just bring our troops home and hope it doesn't happen again. That's going to take a far more aggressive and dynamic effort to overcome the threat of violent jihad. Well, I'm going to turn to you for some questions you have, because I'm talking about topics without getting in much depth, and I'm happy to get in more depth on topics you'd like. But I want Republican Party stand for? One word. I'm sure a number of words go through your mind. One that goes through my mind is the word strength. I believe that a strong America is the best ally peace has ever known. And that if you want to have a prosperous and safe world, a strong America is vital. And so my campaign platform revolves around strengthening America. Strengthening our economy by keeping our taxes down, getting us off of foreign oil, investing in our future technology. Strengthening America. Strengthening through our strong economy. Strengthening America through a strong military. Making sure we have enough troops to protect us, they have the equipment they need, and the care they deserve when they come home. So strengthening our economy, strengthening our military, and strengthening our families. I frankly don't believe any work going on in America is more important to our future than the work that goes on within the four walls of the American home. And if we're going to have a great future, we're going to have stronger homes. And one place to start, by the way, is to help our kids understand that before they have babies and families, they ought to get married. The marriage comes first. And there's some other things. You probably you saw the tragedy of the Virginia Tech shooting. Peggy Noonan wrote a column about the tragedy following Columbine. She said our kids are swimming in an ocean of filth, pornography, violence, sex, perversions. And she said it's time to clean up the water that our kids are swimming in. And that's absolutely right. I want to make sure that if I'm president, every computer in this country that gets sold into the homes can have an internet filter that the parents can press and block pornography and violence from coming off to the internet into their homes. I'm also pretty concerned about these people who prey on kids by using the internet to find them. They got TV shows showing this stuff. Have you seen some? And have you seen MySpace? It's a wonderful networking place for teenagers. My kids are on it. I'm on it now. Not exactly a networking place for me, but I'm on it. And so you connect with other people. You can meet other people through MySpace. They did a search of MySpace to see if any of the people who were on that site had been convicted of sex offenses. 29,000 convicted of sex offenses on their site. They pulled their names off. I would propose a special law saying if somebody uses the internet to become a predator on a child and assaults a child, it's one strike and you're out. And by that I mean a long jail sentence, and if they ever get out, a GPS tracking system to make sure we never see them near a child again. We got challenges, but we've got the most bright and capable people in the world. We can overcome the challenges we have. I'm convinced it's going to take somebody from outside Washington to make that happen. The team I will build will do exactly that. I'm optimistic about the future of this country. I've seen us rise to the occasion time and time again as a nation, whether during peacetime or wartime.